Thank you for staying with us. It is still the conversation. And you know, it is the 31st of December 2024. And as we prepare to usher in the new year, we will be taking the moment to reflect on the remarkable achievements of the Lagos State government in the year 2024, and of course take a glimpse into the future, with projections for 2025. Joining us this morning is the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Omotosho, and he'll be shedding light on the progress made this year and of course giving us insight into what lies ahead for Lagos State. Thank you for joining us, Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's begin this conversation reflecting on 2024. Like I said yesterday, 2024 was indeed a year. For you, what were you saying were the milestones that stood out for you that Lagos State has achieved?
Well, thank you so much for that question. For me, the most exciting thing is, there are so many of them, but the most exciting thing is the commission of the Red Line. When Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor, started the Red Line, he did say that he was going to complete it in his own tenure. And everybody saw what happened. In no time, in a record time, he completed it. And today, the Red Line is moving. People are joining the trains all the way from Agbado on the outskirts of Lagos in Ogun State to the heart of a mainland in Oyingbo. And it's a very wonderful experience according to people who have had the opportunity of joining the train. It's more comfortable, it's a smoother journey, it's a journey without bumps, and unlike before you wanted to travel between Agbado to Oyingbo, it could take about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, depending on the traffic. But today it's no longer so. And this is just the first phase. So I think for me, in 2024, the most exciting thing that we did is putting on the tracks, the Red Line.
All right, Commissioner, in line with that exciting moment for you, if you were to also link that with the state government's drive in the intermodal transportation system, how would you say that the Red Line has also helped, especially with the connection with the smaller buses, the waterways, and the transportation system generally in Lagos?
Well, I think if you look at that, we have done well. Because when Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu came in, he did say that he wanted to make transportation easier, or commuting easier for Lagosians. And talking of intermodal transportation system, now if you board the Red Line and you get to Oyingbo, it's easier for you to walk over and join the Blue Line. If you still want to go to maybe Mile 2 or Marina, you can do that. But apart from that, we have also encouraged people to use the waterways. Right. On May 29, when so many people were jollificating and enjoying themselves, a holiday and all of that, because of the mood of the time, because it's seen as the inauguration anniversary of the government. We were working on that day, and we went to commission 15 boats, right, ferries that are modern, that are comparable to anyone in any part of the world. Ferries that can take about 40 people at a time, and at the same time you can use your Wi-Fi. You use Wi-Fi on it if you want to use your telephone, and it's safer. So I believe that if you look at that, we had about 21 ferries before, with the 15 that we commissioned, and then 10 have been expected now. And the exciting thing about these ferries is that they were built by our young engineers in Nigeria here. They were not imported at all. So it shows the potential. Yeah, it shows the potential that we have in Nigeria, and all of the energy of our young people who are engineers, their creativity, and all of the good things that they can do, symbolized by that single event that we commissioned 15 ferries that were built by them. So, and then you look at Lagride, and you look at Lagos Bus Service Limited with about 350 new buses being injected into the system, and then Lagride of about 1,000 cars being put on the road. So you see that the connection is there. The aim is to see that someday that you will want to go out in Lagos and you don't need to take your own car at all, and that you need to have choices that are genuine, choices that are good. You want to go by the waterways, you said that, which we are encouraging more and more people to use because it's safer, because it's faster, because it's smoother. So that connection is going to be there seamless someday.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, one wonders how the state government is able to achieve all these, provide this infrastructure, despite the fact that the economy is quite challenging this year because of fuel subsidy removal. So what has been the magic of the state government?
Now, don't forget that the skipper, our ex-man, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, CON, is a banker. So he knows how to, he's creative about generation of revenue, about finding finances to do all these projects. Lagos has a very big potential to make money and to create wealth for everybody who has come into contact with Lagos. And it has a reputation of having very good credit. So people who want to do business with Lagos. So most of these things, it's not as if we started just from day one, funding them from our own balance sheets. There are people who are coming in, investors from overseas, from other parts of Nigeria, from Lagos here too, to put their money into the economy of Lagos. So it's not as if all of these things are done from our own balance sheets.
Lagos is also known for, or Lagos State is big on public-private partnerships. I would like you to also speak on that and how that has also helped develop the state.
No, a lot. Most of the things that we are doing, some of them that are the big projects, they are not things that, like I have said, that we can fund from our own balance sheet. Take the Blue Line, for example. We said this we must do, so that people can be comfortable. So we decided that with all of the income that we can generate in Lagos, we should put it into it, and the world should see that we also are capable of running a good transportation system. So we decided to do that from our own balance sheet, and being the only state anywhere in the world, subnational, doing this kind of thing and funding from its own balance sheet, I think it's one of the achievements of the Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu Hamzat administration. But PPP, there are so many things that we are trying to do now, and that we are going to succeed in doing. The new airport in Lekki, and just last week we signed an agreement with the Access Bank to build about 720 housing units, and some of the houses that we are built to, they were done through PPP. So it's not something that we are new to. We have a whole office for PPP. We have somebody who is heading that department now, a lawyer, because it involves a lot of signing papers. So we've been able to do that. Even some of the roads that you have seen, there are contractors who have gone on the road to say the Lekki Expressway that we are, fascinated by all the beauty today. The contractor went in there before the government gave him the first check. So PPP is the way to go.
Government can do it all.
Honorable Commissioner, let's look at the budget performance of 2024 before we take a leap into 2025. At Lagos, as of the fourth quarter of the year, the budget has done over 60% in its performance. If you take a look at the budget performance for 2024 and the projection into 2025, Lagos again is one of the states in Nigeria that has overwhelming performance when it comes to budget performance. But then again, would ask, I know you will say Mr. Governor is a finance guru, and coupled with the commissioner in that ministry, but if you put side by side budget performance with the myriads of challenges and the number of things that Lagos also needs to put in place for our residents to enjoy the dividends of democracy, how can you again look at the budget size of 2024 and its performance so far?
Well, first let me correct the figure that you put out at about 60%. That's not so. The budget as of this morning has done over 90%.
As of this morning, I've done 90%.
Over 90%. And it's all about dedication. It's all about integrity. It's all about determination that we must see that we do not abandon any project in Lagos, that all the projects that we have touched, we must be able to finish so that our people can enjoy such a project. That is why, if not for the festivities, we would have been commissioning so many roads. We did 35 roads to be commissioned in 1 month, 5 bridges, and so many other things like that. Go to Apiola Nijemo Bridge. I mean, that's an iconic bridge, very beautiful. A place that in those days communities, about 3-4 communities could not connect to one another. Today it takes you about 2 minutes to just cross the bridge. A place where you had a wooden bridge and people paid to cross. Today the bridge is there, well lit, well paved, well painted, and very beautiful, attractive. So for us, all of the people who are working for Lagos State in all the ministries, everybody has a target. And once you have that target, all you need to do is to have a deadline that this is what we are going to achieve in the first quarter of the year. This is what we must achieve in the second quarter of the year. That is why we've been able to do it for over 90%. And like I said, Mr. Governor is being creative in raising finances for all of these projects. Nobody will say in Lagos that taxes have been increased. Nobody will say in Lagos that people are being pressed to do more than their own share of the job. Nobody will say in Lagos that people are being pushed. But we have a very vibrant civil service. We have a very good, dynamic executive council headed by Mr. Governor and Mr. Deputy Governor. And that is why we've been able to do the budget like this. I mean, someday we are planning that it should be 100%.
Okay.
Okay, Joy spoke earlier about PPP. I would like to know, I'm sure that we have attracted some foreign investors into the state, and whether we like it or not, it is also visible for us to see that the state government has invested hugely in security of lives and property. What has this done to give assurance to these foreign investors to come into Lagos State? Take,
for example, the season in which we are now. If you go online now, you see that Lagos is being named now as headquarters of entertainment, headquarters of Christmas, headquarters of everything that is beautiful. The number of visitors that we have in Lagos nowadays, we've never had such before. If you go out to see that there is a massive movement of people into Lagos, especially from the diaspora. It's shown online because the people, they have seen that Lagos, there is security. People, I mean, we just had a boat regatta, which can compete with anyone, anywhere in the world. No single incident. We just had big shows to usher in Christmas. I mean, no single incident. All of our big stars who were away, they are back in Lagos, and all of them are having shows all over the place. In some places you have a stampede, you have there's cases of people being attacked, not a single case in Lagos. So I feel that these foreign investors, these are the things that they are looking at. So many people are coming into the entertainment space in the new year because of the kind of thing that they have seen. And apart from that, up to last week, business giants were visiting Mr. Governor to talk about things that they wish to do in Lagos. So if you go to Lekki Free Trade Zone today, it's almost filled up. Over 45 companies already operating there and, employing people. And more businesses coming up. Look at Dangote Refinery, Dangote Fertilizer, Tolaram, all of them are coming up. These are giants in the business sector. And so it is in, even in technology, that we have a Google coming into Nigeria, Microsoft, and all of them choosing to set up shop in Lagos. So more and more are coming, and they will still come because of the kind of atmosphere we have now. I do not know of any other city in the world that has received the number of people that Lagos has received, and then you had no incident. Everywhere is capped.
All right,
Okay.
go ahead, Joe.
Okay, so I want to, pick it up from where you talked about tourism. So tourism and entertainment are vital to Lagos State's economy, and I really like what the points that you have listed at. But are you fully assuring us that in 2025, Lagos is ready to raise the bar?
Oh, in tourism, Lagos is going to do a lot in 2025. In 2025, we are going to be stepping up the training of our young people in the creative sector. Today, we have done over 10,000 young people who have been trained in editing, in acting, in script writing by 4 internationally recognized organizations: Del York, Okidi, AMA, Ebony Live. So all of these young people now, they are doing well wherever they are. They are being given the opportunity to showcase their skills. More of such trainings will come in the year 2025. And then the film city that we are trying to build in K2 Engineering, we are going to step up action on that so that people can have a very big space to exhibit their talents. Apart from that, the Bond theater in Oregun, we are going to rebuild it and make it into something bigger, more purposeful, more functional than what we had there. And then the one in Ikorodu and some other places, we are also going to put Ikorodu, Epe, we are going to put cinemas there so that people can go out and
cinemas, okay.
yes. And then the projects that we have in Badagry, we are going to step up action on them. The place where they call a point of no return, where many people have come from America, from Brazil to come and see. We are going to be rebuilding the place. We are going to be putting it in this proper place so that what it represents to the lives of our people, people can realize that. So, and then the kind of shows we have in Lagos today now, we are going to be able to put some science behind everything for us to be able to know that around this time of the year, this is what happens in Lagos, and being able to calculate it in Naira and Kobo, in dollar, how much it has been able to add to GDP of Lagos. We are going to be stepping up action on new things. Okay. Today, last week we had the Lagos Shopping Festival. It's the biggest 72-hour shopping festival that you can have in any part of the world that I've heard about this year. I haven't heard about some other ones. I mean, the marriage of shopping, business, and entertainment under one roof, and people coming in to enjoy themselves and then to shop. So it's the kind of thing that we are going to build on in the new year. So the new year is going to be very colorful for entertainment.
Right. Commissioner, let me build on what Joy asked you, and then just before we wrap up on issues around tourism, is the ministry, or is the Lagos State government alongside the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture also looking at developing a year calendar of activities? Because usually when tourism activity, you can actually plan ahead and look at either a state or a country and then plan towards what you want to do. Is Lagos also moving in that direction at creating a calendar for the year where different activities are slated, and you know that you can plan towards attending those events as the year goes by?
Very nice question. If you have seen, even if Lagos is not planning or has not planned to have all of these events calendarized, the events themselves have calendarized themselves.
Especially the great,
I mean,
Greater
look,
Lagos Fiesta.
Greater Lagos Fiesta, people are calling. As of this morning, over 50,000 people have registered to attend the Greater Lagos Fiesta. The commissioner had to direct that the portal should be shut down.
Wow.
But when people, we just realize that it would not be nice for us to say, okay, people can come in there.
Turn people back.
And then, they are turned back. So instead of allowing them to just come and flood the place, let us reopen the portal and people should register, and we find a way to manage the crowd and all of that. So that is being calendarized. this time of the year, people know that Lagos is going to be hosting the Greater Lagos Fiesta. Now, everybody is talking about Christmas in Lagos. They have not seen any city that has prepared as Lagos and that has had events and without any single incident. Everybody knows that around this time, next year now, there'll be a boat regatta.
Okay.
And then the Greater Lagos Fiesta that I have said, and then what they call Dirty December and all of that, which we are making Clean December. People are saying that all over Lagos it is well lit. Lagos is now like you go to California, you go to Nollywood around this time, you see what is going on there. You see that there is Christmas in the air. That is what Lagos has been able to show. Right. So these events themselves, they are going to be calendarized, even as they have calendarized themselves.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, as much as we have commended the Lagos State government for providing this infrastructure, if the people are hungry, then this infrastructure will make no meaning to them. And earlier in the year, we saw what happened to the cost of food items. We know that we found a creative way out of it to impact the people. Do we intend to consolidate on this in 2025?
Sure. Like you have said, food is very important. When people are hungry, they don't listen to any other thing. They talk about food and all of that. You have seen that Lagos State government did not just sit down when we had inflation. When the federal government announced an increase in fuel price, Lagos State government responded even before states were asked to do anything. We had the wage award. Then we had free medicine, then drugs in hospital, free antenatal and all of that. And then we had even free transportation, 50% at first, then later 25%. And lately, we had Oúnjẹ Èkó, under which some people even had food free of charge to old people and all of that. And then 25% reduction in prices in markets in almost all of the local governments in Lagos. People had access to all these foods. Unfortunately, some of people went there to buy in bulk and then to go and resell. We tried everything to discourage that, especially eggs. You know, you go to any of these Oúnjẹ Èkó markets and see the long queues of people trying to buy eggs, and you discover that some of them were buying at 3,025 naira or so, and then selling at over 5,000 in town, which is also very bad. But the government is not discouraging. We know that all of these things are temporary things. For us to be able to have an enduring system that can assure our people that they will not go to bed hungry, no matter the situation. That is why we are building food hubs like the one you have in Mushin. Very soon, about 5 will be ready that we are going to be commissioning in the new year. But the whole idea is to have in every local government that kind of a food hub. And then for us, the icing on the cake or the big deal is the one we are building in Iketu region, the logistics, food and logistics park, which is going to be the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa. The idea is that all of the things that have been brought into Lagos that get rotten in a matter of days, you put them in this logistics center, which is very expansive, very big. They are not going to be getting rotten again.
Stand like a storage facility.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that when you have the kind of thing that you are having now, inflation all over the place and food prices are rising, you can bring in produce from the logistics center to depress prices, to stabilize prices. And take, for example, should there be famine in the land for about 5 months, God forbid, the logistics center is built in a way that at least 5 million Lagosians can feed for 3 months without any trouble. Wow. So these are the things that we are trying to do. We will step up the training of our young people in agriculture. So many of them are interested in agriculture now, and they are already producing. We will step up, the advancement of a credit to those who are farming, and then the allocation of a land space to those who are willing to farm. And then Lagos being the major consumer of all agri-produce coming from any part of the country, over 50% consumed in Lagos, we are going to be looking at the meat value chain, for example, all of the cattle that are being brought into Lagos, don't not just take them into the abattoir like that, having a kind of a holding bay where they are going to be put and be nourished and be nurtured for them to be well prepared for people to be able to consume. And then the storage too, so that beef will not be any problem at all. And all of the things we are doing about fishery, where we have comparative advantage, we will continue to step them up so that people can see the big potential in fishing that Lagos has.
Okay, let's talk about sports development. In 2024, can you take us through some of the achievements of especially the Lagos State Sports Commission in developing talent, and then what are the projections for the new year in terms of sports development?
The Lagos State Sports Commission is headed by a dynamic young man who understands what it takes to do sports, and who understands Lekan Fadeyi, who understands that sports is also about character development, not just a physical body development. Once you can marry the two, character development and sports, you have done very well for our young people.
Okay.
We are building, as I speak with you now, 8 ministers there concurrently at the same time, simultaneously, so that our young people can have places to exhibit their bountiful energy in sports. When recently we had the youth games in Asaba, I think,
right.
Lagos State did very well. It's all because of a careful planning, deliberate planning, intentional planning, not just because we gathered a group of young people and then sent them out to go and just do that. We are doing a lot about rebuilding our sports centers. We are working on Onikan, we are working on Road Park and Teslim Balogun. Teslim Balogun this year hosted very big table tennis event, World Table Tennis Championships. About 25 foreign countries attended. India, Germany, and so many of these big stars. And that says a lot about the kind of security in Lagos. You got to Surulere around that time, and you saw, white guys walking all over the place, going to Masha to buy suya and all of that, and without any security challenge.
Right.
So when people say that they have security challenges, there's no city as big as Lagos that will not have security challenge. But Lagos is so lucky that our young people, they are very friendly. Our people are very warm when they see these foreigners. I remember Mr. Governor attended that event, and the German who won, Mr. Governor saw that the man had so many fans. And when he was presenting the trophy to him, he asked him, why is it that the Gaussians, they were hailing you while you were playing? And the guy said, well, it's not my first time in Lagos. I love coming to Lagos. And they have noticed that I love coming to Lagos. And most of them are my friends.
Wow.
So if you have an event, 25 people, countries attending at the same time, and no security breach of any kind whatsoever, I think it's a great thing. And like I said, we are building mini stadia for our young people. And then so many competitions that are coming to Lagos this year, international competitions in soccer. We are trying as much as possible to take back the name and glory of Lagos as sports city, so that anybody who mentions Lagos will not say it's all about entertainment. It's also about sports,
All right, and let's talk about education now. It's one of the key pillars of the Themes Plus agenda of Mr. Governor. So in terms of education for 2025, what are we to expect in terms of digital learning, teacher training? What are we to expect?
Those are things that we'll be doing before. We are going to be stepping them up. Out of school children, the number, we thank God, is going down. We are going to step up that so that we will ensure in Lagos that no kid is left behind. Everybody who wants to go to school must be in school. It's not as if during school hours you find kids roaming the streets or fetching water and all of that. No, that will be out of it. We are going to be stepping up action on building comprehensive schools. There are people who have gone out of school because they feel that they want to learn a trade and that they will do better in that, or that their parents don't even want them to go to school because they cannot cope financially. All of that will be out of it, because these schools that we are building, they are going to be able to ensure that while schooling, you can also learn a trade. You don't have to leave school because you want to learn a trade. So we are doing all of that. And then the kind of iconic schools that we are building, the type you have in so many parts of Lagos with a very good Elemoro, very good pitches that are good for even the national team to train on. We are going to be stepping up action about that. There are so many of them that are 99% completed. All of them will be completed in the new year. And apart from that, human resource capacity will be built up. Our teachers, they will get more training this year, especially at the primary school level. And apart from that, the JAPA syndrome that has affected the medical line, you know, Lagos has been badly hit. It's just because of our capacity to build up. That is why people are not feeling it so much. So we are going to be taking off with a medical school, you know, that is going to be all about producing medical science students, the future doctors that Nigeria we need.
Okay.
So that is going to be there.
EcoMed.
Yes,
Okay.
EcoMed.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, one can hardly function these days without ICT. Take us through the investment of the Lagos State government on technology and how it's going to ensure that Lagosians have access to internet, especially our youth.
Yeah, if we are talking about that, it's something that is very dear to the heart of Mr. Governor. We write just a little bit after the inauguration of this administration, we started building a 6,000 kilometer fiber optic cable around the state. I think the first phase of 3,000 kilometers is 98% completed now. And the idea is that once it's completed, in fact, the internet coming from this fiber optic cable is being used now in some of our public institutions have been connected. The idea is that you have faster internet, you have cheaper internet, that when the MTNs of this world, the Airtels and all of the Glo giants in that space, when they come to Lagos, they don't need to start building their own infrastructure. It's just that they will need to just plug and play and everything is fine. So we've done a lot about training our young people, encouraging them in that space, innovation, science and technology. We have the Lagos State Science Research Council, which has funds of up to about 1 billion, that anybody who has any idea, any innovative idea, you don't have to allow that idea to die because there is no funding. You can easily go to that Science Research Council and get funds for you to be able to realize your dreams. Some of the people who have taken advantage of the funds, they are now doing well with their produce being taken over by people who are big in that space in the world. They've been able to make their names, they've been able to make money. So, and then, like I said, Microsoft, Google, all of them, they are in Lagos trying to see how they can work with the government for our young people to be able to build capacity in that space. And then we have our KITE Knowledge, Innovation, Technology and Entrepreneurship Center in Yaba. Yaba is very well known for technology, for computing, analysis and all of that. So that KITE Center is going to be built, I think, in conjunction with some of the world giants in that space. It's all about training our young people. It's all about making Lagos the center of technology. The idea is that in a couple of years to come, if anybody is looking for 20, 30, 50 software experts,
okay, they can find them.
They can find them in Lagos.
Okay. All right. Before we allow you go this morning, Honorable Commissioner, let's quickly talk about the bill that was signed into law on December 3rd by Mr. Governor, talking about the Lagos State Electricity Bill. What should Lagosians expect in 2025 with that bill, and of course improvement in electricity supply in Lagos?
Yeah, what that bill has done is that first when the federal government was trying to see what it could do about electricity. Before anybody that thought, Lagos State was leading the battle that states should be allowed to take their own destiny into their own hands as far as energy supply, power supply is concerned. We were doing all of that, and then the federal government bought the idea and signed that national law. And states were expected to key into it. And Lagos has been one of the first to key into it. That led to, we sent an executive bill to the House of Assembly, and that led to the signing of the bill that you spoke of. So what is the need for Lagosians? A lot. Now the state has a license to determine its own future in that area. And you know Lagos is not new when you talk about the battle to have a better power supply, stable power supply. Lagos being the headquarters of business in Nigeria, being the home of all major manufacturing companies in Nigeria, we cannot afford to allow people's returns to be affected by electricity. So now Lagos is going to see how it can go into all aspects with the private sector, into all aspects of this sector, be it generation, be it distribution, be it metering, and everything. We are going to be able to, Lagosians will have value for their money. Lagosians will be able to have access to electricity without so much pains. And that means that the number of generators that we are using now will reduce, and we have clean energy, and then the environment is going to be better for it, our earth will be better for it, our future will be better for it.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, a very tricky one before you go. I'm sure Lagosians would like to know, rather, how far you have gone about the Fort Milan Bridge. When is it going to start, and where exactly are we? Well,
to be truthful, Fort Milan Bridge is a dream for us, a very big dream. We want to have it, we want to own it, we want to execute it, we want to do it. And then people are coming. But the truth of the matter is that it involves a lot of money, humongous amount of money. And for you to be able to be focused on this kind of project, for you to be able to say it's going to start on so day, and be able to put a deadline to it, you must have stable Naira. The Naira dollar value is affecting so many things. Many of the projects that we have signed, that we signed about 2-3 years ago, the contractors are coming back to renegotiate. And there is one thing that we usually say, that Mr. Governor says, that no project will be left abandoned in Lagos under his watch. Everything must be completed. So we do not want to go into Fort Milan Bridge and then be able not to cross the bridge. We want to pull back. No, we want everything to be ready. We want stabilization. That is what our investors are talking about, because it's not something that we can finance from our balance sheet. We need to have foreign investors to come and invest in it, and that is all they are talking about. But everything is on, the contractors are be choosing, and then talks are still going on. It's just about the financing, and it's going to be done by the grace of God.
All right, before we allow you go, you've talked so much about, what government is doing, but there really can't be a success without the people. So what are your admonitions to, before your admonition, how can you rate the cooperation from Lagos residents for this administration in 2024?
Well, I think Lagos residents have been very fantastic. They've been very great. There's something that we usually say, that Lagos is a victim of its own success. The only thing is that thousands of people, about 6,000 people. They
keep coming in.
Yeah, every day. And we are saying that we do not have the power to stop people from coming in. But all we are saying is that our people should try, if you know you are going to stay more than 3 months, go and take the LASTRA card. Let us be able to have your data. Let us be able to know who you are. Let us be able to know where you are. Let us be able to know what to do. Let us be able to know how to help you. So I think in that area, people have not done well. But in other things, working with the government, ensuring that there is peace in the city, ensuring that there is orderliness in the city, ensuring that even the aesthetics of the city Lagosians no longer dump refuse as they used to. So I feel that they have done well.
Right. So what are your expectations from the residents, vice versa? What are your promises to the Lagos resident from the government next year, and what also do you expect next year?
Yeah, my promise is that Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu will, go beyond their expectation. That Mr. Sanwo-Olu is going to continue to be Mr. Talk and Do. He will continue to do all of the things that he has promised. He will continue to forge ahead in the greater Lagos journey, so that all of us, when we get there, by the grace of God, we will see what it means to be the biggest mega city in Africa and one of the biggest in the world. I will admonish Lagosians to continue to show understanding, to continue to play their own role, their own civic duties, so that government can also continue to function very well. Once you know that you are behind us, government will be able to take bold decisions that they should take. But all in all, Mr. Sanwo-Olu will play a very big leadership role as he's been playing, and is going to be somebody who will continue to be compassionate, somebody who will continue to be the leader who is going to show the world that Lagos is indeed
in good hands.
In good hands.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Joy?
Thank you.
All right. Our producer said we need to go, but I wanted to ask, what was it like growing up, celebrating Christmas, the New Year for you?
Well, it used to be very colorful. I grew up in Ado-Ekiti, and it's a big town. And in those days, I mean, it was not. Rice was not something that was eaten every day the way it is now.
It was not a luxury.
It's a part of the very exciting things that we used to have during Christmas. Then we will buy new dresses, new shoes, and go out visiting families and eating from one pot to another. And it was a very exciting time. I mean, shows of masqueraders coming out of town, and then people coming in from Lagos here and showing us how things were being done in Lagos, in terms of dressing, in terms of everything. Very exciting.
But when you came to Lagos, what was the first Christmas experience you had? Were you disappointed that, was this all about, why Lagos people were always coming to show you in Ado-Ekiti?
No, I wasn't really disappointed, because the sheer number of people on the street in Lagos, and then the places to go to, visiting, and then the buses, shortly from one part of the city to another. It was really exciting and, very energetic.
All right. Jibola, you're going to say something.
My question is personal. I look at you and I'm not envious of your position as the mouthpiece of the state. How do you cope with all the pressures here and there, especially when you have to sell this government?
Well, the thing is that I've been a journalist all my life. So I have seen very good times, I've seen very bad times. And, joining the government, once you know that you have a boss, or you have bosses, Mr. Sanwo-Olu and Dr. Hamzat, who are very passionate about Lagos State, you yourself will be very passionate about it, and then who are also willing to back you up, and then, open everything for you to see, then you will have the confidence to tackle any question. So many television stations have asked me now to come and discuss the subject that we are discussing, but I said I must come here first.
Oh, wow.
To discuss the thing. So if I go to any other television station at all, and then I know they don't have the information that I have, so long as I'm truthful, so long as I know the rules, so long as I'm decent, because I see all of them as my colleagues. I'm decent with them. I think it's very easy for me to tackle. The only thing is that I do not have the kind of foul language that the opposition, I'm not going to do that.
And have you stayed true to your friends that you had before you became commissioner?
Yes. There are some of people who were my friends when I was in the newsroom, especially activists, who also criticize the government nowadays. And you will expect that when you see us in public, we'll be shocked. Some of them that are very vociferous, that are very truculent about talking about government and all of that. But when you see me, taking pictures with them, attending their functions, and, you know, pulling their beards, you will not believe it. Because, I mean, friendship is more than that. I understand that when you criticize us, it's for us to be able to do well.
Right.
It's not because you are bitter about us.
Okay.
So I understand that.
Okay.
We thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Omotosho. Thank you for sharing insights on the achievement of Lagos State government in 2024 and, of course, projections for 2025. The conversation continues right after this. Please stay with us.
Okay.
Let the conversation continue.
Uh-oh. That just wasn't fair.
It is our house.
Okay, we need to go. Many thanks for watching the conversation today. By God's grace, tomorrow, 1st of January 2025, will be another time to join the crew on the conversation. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Abimbola Bello.
All right, well, thank you very much for watching the show.